Jimmy, question 5 of the practice exam series for the 7th edition of the broker pre-test. So which type of ownership allows property to be inherited? So let's talk about ownership types because those are the most important here. So we have tenants in common, which is 2 or more owners that bought the house at the same or different times. You have joint tenants with rights of survivorship. Rights of survivorship is, hey, I bought it at the same time, but if something happens, the other party gets it. Tenants in common is inherited. Tenants by entireties is a married couple buying a house. If they get divorced, it reverts to tenants in common. If they die, one of the parties dies, then it reverts to joint tenancy with rights to survivorship. So remember that. Tenants by entireties is married couples. So let's talk about these. Tenants by severalty. What does severalty mean? Well, it's severed, right? It's severed property. One person owns it. It's a sole owner. Tenants in common, like we said, it's an inherited property. We're asking if it's inherited. Let's go to B. B, tenancy at will has to do with one thing. It has to do with renting. So, can you inherit rented property? No, the answer is wrong. Let's take B out, right? Don't worry about what the other one said because it's wrong because of the tenancy of the rental. The next one says tenants by entireties and tenants in common. Well, tenants in common can be inherited, but joint tenancy is not inherited. It's just given to the other party because they own it with rights of survivorship. So it's not inherited, it just passes on. So because tenants by entireties could be either or depending on the situation, if somebody passes away, we have to assume that it's not going to be inherited, it's just going to go on to the next party. So we're going to take this one out. Tenants by entireties, again, same thing here, right? Taking the tenants by entireties out. But joint tenancy is the wrong answer because it's not inherited, it's just passed along. Inherited, when we're talking about inheritance, we're talking about children. We're talking about parents. We're talking about somebody other than that party that bought the house with them, right? So tenants by severalty, if you own it sole and separate, then somebody would inherit it from you if you passed away, assuming you had heirs. Tenants in common, again, it's an inherited property, bought at the same and different times. The reason we would buy things like this, if you buy it with your friend, maybe it's a joint venture or something like that, you're going to buy it separately. You want it to go to each party's heirs instead of to the other person. So A would be the answer for this. Hopefully that makes sense. If you follow chapter 8 in the sales course that I have on YouTube, you can actually see the explanation of the chart and how TIC, joint tenants rights, survivorship, tenants by entireties, etc. works. So if you have any questions on any of this stuff, title's really important when you're selling houses, so that's why they emphasize this as a very heavily tested concept on the sales and the broker exam. So if you have any questions, give me a call.